Good morning to you, Taurians, dear ones. Medicine here, and I just want to say thank you very much, first of all, for joining us in Circle. At whichever time of week that you're joining us, but you are joining us in Circle, and I just want to say that I appreciate that. So, for those of you who have been following my channel thus far with these readings, you'll probably notice that I've expanded to a 4-card spread. And it'll be the same idea. It'll still be for the weeks. And I do Sunday through Saturday. And so this week will be January 29th to the February 4th, excuse me. And yeah. So, yeah, I mean, without further ado, we'll just kind of hop right in here. So when I start, I got the Page of Cups in reverse. So there could be someone very childlike experiencing some heartbreak right now. You know, it's a very sad time for them, perhaps. This could happen if a child is experiencing their parents separating, for example, someone important in their family life that's leaving them, a good friend of theirs at school that is leaving, you know, or something might have happened to them. This can be that kind of deal. Something that is making this childlike person, and I do say childlike person because sometimes us adults also can be very childlike. And so this could be someone who is a childlike person who is just experiencing some difficult times. So however way that resonates with you there, this person is probably reacting in a very, I'd say sad. They're very sad. They could even be depressed. This person could, they're probably not acting out in the best way or communicating their emotions in the best way, which would suit them best, to be able to communicate what their issues are. But I'd have to say that with the Page of Cups, they're not necessarily the biggest communicators in ways of verbal communication. And so those of you who are parents with a water sign, for example, or someone who maybe has water in their chart, sun, moon, or rising, or even if not, but if you resonate with this card as a Page of Cups, if the Page of Cups resonates somehow in your personal life, I would definitely say that you're going to want to watch their emotions more than you watch their words. This is probably a time for really kind of honing in on their body language and their emotions, as opposed to their words. The tone of their voice, their body language, their emotions, their facial expressions, things like that. It's really kind of, these are ways in which we communicate in such a big way, and we miss these. So Taurians, watch out for this going on. Be very cognizant of how those around you are responding, especially through their body language, through their emotions. Their verbs, their words could be saying one thing, their body language could be perhaps be saying another. Their expressions, their tone of voice could perhaps be saying another as well. So just be very cognizant of that. Because right here I'm kind of seeing someone who these emotions are kind of big for them, if you will, because they're a childlike person. So they're not really seasoned to experience these kind of emotions in a good way. So they may not even know how to necessarily work with them. Work with them is the word. You know, how to necessarily work with these emotions and what they have, how to work with them. And so they might need some guidance in that arena. For some of you Taurians, this person might need some guidance in that because they just don't have a way and a tool, if you will, in which to work with them in a healthy, positive way. So I would definitely look out for that for some of you Taurians, okay? Now, as we transition towards the middle of the week, we do get the Sun card. And the Sun card is a very joyful time. Very joyful time. You know, it's very bright, it's very expressed. You know, and so what I'm getting is that towards the middle of the week, you know, Taurians, you're really going to be in a place here where you're going to have everything set in its place just the right way, and, you know, in just the right fashion, in just the right time, in just the right setting. Everything's going to be just right towards the middle of the week here. You're going to be experiencing good results from your work, from things that you put in play. You know, everything's going to be very joyous and joyful for you towards the middle of the week. You're going to be able to fit all the pieces together in just the right way and experience good results, good feedback from how you have placed things. So this is a good time for you to really, these powers that you have of being organized and being practical and being pragmatic, these powers are working for you as we get towards the middle of the week here for some of you Taurians. And then we get the Ace of Pentacles. So I have to wonder if there's a new career that you're going into for some of you, if there is a new health concern for some of you, because it seems like something's just kind of jumped out. This just kind of jumps out at you. It kind of hits you sideways, and you're not really sure how to manage it or deal with it. It's kind of what I'm getting after seeing the Sun card. It's like, you know, you had everything great, you got everything good, then all of a sudden this thing comes out of nowhere and hits you in your blind spot, and you're now having to figure out how to deal with it. And this is not something that you're necessarily familiar with. This is something that's taking time and a new kind of time and a new kind of method in order to handle it. It's probably not going to be the same methods that you had before. This is probably going to be causing some new methods, and I'm seeing that it's throwing you off because, I mean, I got the Sun card here that's like, yeah, you know, everything is great, everything is organized, everything is in play, you know, I got everything set right. One thing that you have to remember about the Sun card, those of you who are checking this out, is that the Sun card pops up at a time when you've reached towards the end of a journey. The Sun card pops up at a time when you're getting ready to transition into and cross into the next stage or phase of your life. The Sun card can often pop up around that time. Okay, so what that means is when the Sun card pops up, I mean, it's almost like when the Sun card pops up, everything's going to be great, everything's going to be in play. It's safe to kind of expect some changes to happen because you're reaching the end of a road, be it good or be it bad, but you're reaching for the end of something. And so now you have the Ace of Pentacles here, who is bringing in some new skills, bringing in some new prosperity, some new health, a new career, you know, some new material matters for you to work with, and it's throwing you off because you've kind of already had everything set up, everything seemed great here. Why do I need to? What is this about? You know, this is kind of foreign. It's something that you can work with, but it's foreign and new to you. Those of you who might have earth sign children, if they're Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, in rising sun or moon. This is someone that is probably very much isolated into themselves. They're probably very lazy and they're probably procrastinating a lot. So those of you who have kids, who are kind of like that, you know, I would definitely I would definitely keep an eye on them. I would definitely kind of intuit what's going on with them and figure out how to help them turn it around so that they can become, you know, because the Ace of Pentacles, I mean, they're still very practical and pragmatic. And I know that this is the Ace of Pentacles and not the Page of Pentacles. And yet, for some reason, child energy came through this for me. And so I just kind of want to point that out, that this seemed new, like a child. So it's like childlike energy kind of came up. With this card as well. So, you know, those of you who do have kids that might be of an earthly sign, you know, I'd also check in on that, because they might be experiencing some hardships and how to be practical, or how to be pragmatic, or how to be organized, or how to take things in a step-by-step process right now. And then last but not least, I get the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So again, you know, it seems like, you know, here we go. I'm just going to put this together for you again. You know, everything was nice and organized for you here with the Sun card. Everything was nice and organized. You know, everything seemed like it was well in its place, but it was coming towards the end of a journey for you, and you were starting you're going to start transitioning into the next phase of your life towards the middle of the week here. And then you get the Ace of Pentacles that is like throwing you off, because it's new financial being, new prosperity, new health, new career, a new skill, a new material possession, so things that you haven't really worked with before. And it's throwing you off how to take care of it, perhaps because it's kind of different from everything that you've taken care of and manifested up till now. Okay, so these things can kind of get us towards the middle of the week. And so now I have the Four of Pentacles here, who this person is not able to hold on to anything. I would say this is the person that is kind of squandering their money, just kind of spending it. Or they're having some financial hardships. This person could be the person that might be overspending, might be getting overdraft in their banking accounts, might be experiencing some debt right now, because they're having a hard time holding on to their money. This person could be someone who is probably impulsive and just kind of a spender. Someone who's just, they're not saving up enough when they should be saving, kind of thing, is what I'm getting with the Four of Pentacles. And it's almost like there's this new thing that's come in town with the Ace of Pentacles, and one is feeling like they should go spend money doing this and go spend money doing that, you know, it's all has to do with the fact that this is just kind of throwing you off right now. And that's okay, because it's just a new something to work with. And you know, as you hone in on these skills a little bit more throughout the week, you're gonna become more you're just gonna become more efficient at it, and things just take time, and this is a new challenge for you, and that's absolutely fine. You know, this is absolutely okay, because it's teaching you a new skill, it's teaching you a new technique. Everything's going to be great here. at the end of the day with the four, even with these guys. And those of you who are experiencing some health concerns, some new health concerns that are throwing you off, you know, just watch out. You know, be wary of the fact that you are overexerting yourself and that you are doing a little bit more than you should, and it's not good for your health. So those of you who I keep seeing someone going to a hospital, and some of these getting sick, going to a hospital. Perhaps the illness is not necessarily something that one is used to, and I keep getting the picture of someone that perhaps should be resting it up, perhaps should be taking care of themselves, some self-care there, and there's not the self-care going on in the right way. Even if they have good intentions, perhaps they're just not doing it in the right way. It's not panning out for them in the right way. So it's just some food for thought, just for things to look out for during this week, my dear Taurians. And then I get the Shaman of Sorrows showing up for you towards as a guide to work with. The Shaman of Sorrows. So the Shaman of Sorrows comes in when there is a time of sadness, there's a time of pain and grief. And the Shaman of Sorrows says, work with me, allow me to come in and help you through these sorrowful times. Because in order to experience joy, you must first experience sorrow. So what does that mean? You know, harmony never really came without tension being there. Life has proven that time and time again with the ebb and flows of life. You always need to experience some tensions to find the harmony. Something that makes you sad or makes you angry or makes you, worried enough to where you feel like you need to turn this energy around and make it into something good. Sometimes we experience things on a certain level that it's like, yeah, I'm sad about it, but I'm just going to keep going on with life as it is. The Shaman of Sorrows is about learning to transmute your sorrows. The Shaman of Sorrows is coming out at a time where they want you to transmute your sorrows into joy. And how to do that? This is where the power of affirmation comes in. This is where you're feeling something so hard, so much that you have to turn towards, you have to try to transmute it. It's hitting you enough now to where you have to try to transmute that. Allow the Shaman of Sorrows to come in and teach you how to work within your sorrows so that you may then reach joy. So that's the ebb and flow. It's a very beautiful thing when you think about it that way. Because again, we've experienced loss. I believe, was it you Taurians last week that had the Shaman of Loss come in? Perhaps we've experienced loss last week. The experience of losing something, and how that transmutes into wanting you to gain something more, opening up a new door. The Shaman of Sorrows works kind of similar to that, but it's telling you to kind of deal with your emotions. That's kind of the difference here. The Shaman of Sorrows really works in on your emotional state and taps into your emotions, and as the missing piece of the puzzle here. It could be that your emotions perhaps need a little bit more nurturing and attention. You know, they need a little bit more detail and attention to. And the Shaman of Sorrows is here to give you the right, give you that validation that you need in order to in order to work with your sorrows, so that you can transmute that into joy. But that's the ebb and flow of life right there, right? That's the ebb and flow of life. So, yeah, these are some food for thought. I just love the different spirits that come in towards the end of all these, no matter which reading I get, you know, because they just all have such beautiful meanings to them. I want to let you guys know, just kind of an announcement, if you will, that I will be setting up my website here pretty soon. And on my website, there will be a forum to where, if you'd like, you can certainly come in and kind of share your thoughts, kind of share your experiences that you might have had around working with beings like the Shaman of Sorrow. If you've had time to meditate, if you've had time to journey, if you've had time, even if you're like just sitting in the shower and you call on the Shaman of Sorrows to come into your world and to work with you on an intimate level, you know, to help you through your sorrowful times. Because first of all, I just feel like it's just such a great way in which people can exchange and share their experiences and what they got from them and their insights. It's great for me because I get to record these things, if you will. That's kind of the underlining idea, is that I can save these and record them, and I can have them as reference for future healings that go on. So if you'd like to participate in that, you know, stay tuned as far as the website goes, and I'll let you know when I finally have that up and running. But I'm pretty excited about it. I really am, because I just feel like it would just be such a great healing way. And yeah, so great, you know, nothing more. I think that we've gotten the healing that we've needed, the medicine that you've needed, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Aho.